Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome back. We are continuing our Tech Rise, and well, now we gotta do the dreaded dialogue thing. The cutscenes. We're gonna draw some cutscenes. And I don't know how this is gonna work. Hello! The conceptbait.net. Okay, I don't know how well this is gonna go. Hopefully it goes reasonably well. We're gonna need to import the cutscene dialogue. Engine. Dialogues. Character dialogues. Okay. So, this is the phase out lost. And then we start with this. Greetings. Okay. Now, I'm gonna see what it will look like if I do 1280 by 720. Might be a bit much. Might be too small. Okay. I had considered a couple of solutions for the dialogue cutscenes. One of them was to make a three-dimensional space with 2D sprites, right? And then have the camera kind of pan around from shot to shot. But I think that this approach is gonna mean that it would have to be like an animation player and scripted, and it wouldn't be actually running an actual dialogue system. That's one way I could handle it. What's another way we can handle it? I can do two-dimensional drawings. And have them separated as layers, but that means every slide is going to have a separate background, separate lot of stuff. So that's a lot of work as well. Which kind of makes me think, is there a better way to do it? I kind of like the whole 3D space thing, and this is just for the cutscenes. So you just model out one location, right? One virtual space. And then, just like a cameraman, you move the camera around the locations and do whatever you need. You'll definitely save a lot on production. A lot of time. It might not be too bad of a look either, considering, I don't know, if we go for like lower res textures to match the already fairly low res style of the game. But that would mean that the cutscenes wouldn't be using our dialogue system. Or maybe they would. Maybe we can somehow piggyback off of the dialogue system, and maybe we can say we have a call method. Give us the method to call, and then maybe it will be something like cutscene, right? And then here we have the name of the cutscene, which would be everything in here is a string. So the name of the cutscene and what else? And like the slide of it, right? Slide 0, slide 1, slide 2. Or actually, if we're using an animation player node, if we're using an animation player node, we just say, this is the slide that we need to show. And then it just launches that cutscene. Although, if we have many cutscenes, we would have to do something about specifying which cluster of cutscenes. We don't want to store every single cutscene in one same location. Hmm. So we can do, we can have a separate function for different cutscenes. Or we could have the name of the scene, right? So we'll do like lost trial course, and then this is the name of the scene. We'll have a dictionary that stores that scene. Or we could just do .tscn, and here we would say which of the animations we should play. And then we just propagate this to all the other dialogue nodes that are supposed to have a cutscene. Now, by a certain point, we'd need to close the cutscenes. So by the last dialogue, we would be running another function to close the cutscene. So yeah, I've added the call method as the top level element, which means we can add a call method to just about any dialogue message if that needs to be done. Okay. Now, what should we do? We know that these two are technically part of the same slide. So we can set some like this up. We'd need to render it out if it's in 3D. We need to render it out in a scene. Okay, I'm starting to think about composition and programming at the same time. These do not mesh. Okay. Hmm. What should be the composition for this? I'm kind of trying to make sure that I don't end up with something ludicrous like having a separate card for each one of these messages. Actually, it might be better if I just do it this way. Mm-hmm. Whoops. Uh, minor kitchen duties. Nice. Doing minor kitchen duties. Missed the descriptive part. I am both thinking about technical approach to how I'm gonna show these cutscenes, as well as just thinking about like the composition, how I'm gonna do it. There's just like dirt and stuff falling off of the characters. We're gonna have to keep the cartoony proportions as well. Try to get that up, set up, not lose sight of it. Zoltan, that's for the premium channel. That's only for the members. Yeah, I'm just warming up for the most part. Um, mm, let's make it happen. Thanks. Could support you more if I could. That's fine, man. I appreciate it. The company is more valuable, to be honest. Okay, so maybe since we're squatting down. Oh, damn it. Come on. Lock this layer. Okay. I'm gonna offset the thoughts of how much work this is gonna take with thoughts of how much experience I'm gonna gain by doing this. God damn. Hmm. Steven, what are you wearing? I mean, doing. Autocorrect. Mm-hmm. It's like that short. Oh, great tits. I mean, shot. Nice shot. uh, okay. I'm gonna do this. So we know what the composition is gonna be, but the artwork itself has to be designed, of course, within reasonable same scaling. Perspective is also going to be important. I don't think this matches. Now let me see what this goes. Oops, I don't want to draw. I want to cut and paste. Okay. Hmm. I'm wearing the grim determination. Nice response. Beautiful. Very crafty. Okay. Now, what do we do with these guys? Maybe we can approach this in a way where any sort of special effects could be painted as separate elements, and we'll be able to reuse them across more cutscenes. Okay, so if that's the case, just gonna plug in together a quick background. Let's develop this conceptually first, and then we'll worry about making the clean artwork. Okay. Fill that in. And then we'll get this. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Let's save this. It's going to go to Artec Rise, Assets, Sprites, and then Cutscenes. Okay. So this is Trial, Course, Lost. There we go. Now, if something is in the group, it's not going to get exported. So I'm going to have to do something here. May or may not have to do each cutscene as a separate file. We'll see. Okay, let's get, I guess we can do Tool, Scripts, Export Layers. And we're going to do PNG, adjust the size, ignore invisible, and then group, treat the group as a layer. There we go. This goes to Artag Rise, Engine, Sprites, Cutscenes. All layers have been exported. Thank you. Okay. So, go back here. We know that it has to be a 3D scene. Cutscenes. Trial. Course. Okay. Let's start by figuring out what it is we're going to have here. So CSG box. Okay. 20 by 20. We know that we need some sort of a ground. So I'm just going to quickly pluck something down. Objects. cut scenes. Cutscene trial course, TSCN. Okay, so we're gonna do 512 by 512, and then we're gonna put together like a nice ground texture. And we're going color. We're gonna go color here. Too much. Yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I'm gonna save this. Asset sprites, technically not sprites, this would be textures, but maybe we should save it as sprites for cutscenes. Okay. Cutscene textures. Okay. Round 1. Okay. Let's get the PNG. And let's go to Artec Rise, Sprites, Cutscenes, and I guess we'll save it here. Ground 1 PNG. Okay. We do need to enable triplanar mapping. There we go. Okay, cool. Next. Sprites. There we go. Oh, okay. Sprite 3D. Okay, so that's big. Very quite big. Okay, we're probably gonna need to get the simple camera, whatever it's called. Little camera preview. Because that's going to help us maintain an eye on the camera. Beautiful. So we add a camera. Whoops. Camera 3D. Okay, plugin needs to be enabled. There we go. And then we can pin it to win it. And then do this. Okay. So we'll have to do something about the sizing, because you can see that the sizing of the objects, or the sizing of the drawings is going to matter. We'll probably have to do a separate image where we figure out the composition and the base pose, and then do the clean ones in a separate document or on top of it. Hmm. A lot of the stuff's going to be fakery in perspective anyways. Hmm. Okay. I think we need to get this character to be above this one. Too much distortion. Okay, let's do it like this. Cool. We need grass. We definitely need grass here. Hmm. Welcome to Silent Hill. Silent cutscene. Hmm. Okay. So we get a nice little parallax effect here. What about the backdrop? Hmm. Backdrop is supposed to be stones. Okay. Now we could go with a flat backdrop, or we could we could make a compound one we built out of multiple pieces. Let's say we start with some sort of a shape. Preferably with a brush that actually works for this purpose. Hmm. And I painted on the background. Okay. That's a boulder, if I've ever seen one. I'm just gonna see what this looks like. Cutscenes, textures, cutscenes. Um, 3D sprite. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Okay. Let's do another one. Maybe some sort of a vine sprite. Hmm. Something along those lines. Okay. I didn't mean to do that on the same layer. Mm-hmm. Now, here's what I'm wondering. Can we skew this? Okay. We can't skew a group. We have to skew one layer at a time. Okay. That's fine. Okay. I'm gonna save this. Engine sprites cutscenes. Vines. And we're gonna export using the tool. Export, nope, not a sprite sheet. Layers. PNG, ignore invisible, group as layers. And that vines is what we're exporting. Okay. Sprites, cutscenes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, will we be able to make use of lighting and shadow here to determine what stays in focus? We get ambient light here, clearly not doing anything. Oh, we get directional light coming from the top, and all of these sprite nodes have to be marked as shaded. Okay, there we go. Now, mm-hmm. Okay, that's gonna be a bit easier. Hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, we can't rotate it. Maybe not every one of them should be Y billboarded. Okay, I think the ground being exceptionally plain is what's currently throwing off the view. Hmm. Also, you know what? The the styling of these graphics components, maybe we should give them more of a like more of a outliney look. You know, that's not the right. That's not the right layer. That's the right layer. Okay, last one. Yeah, so right now it just looks a little bland without its own unique identification. Okay, so export that again. Okay, we do keep in mind that it creates a folder. Oh, okay, yeah. I thought we already had one open. Export layers. Okay. No, not models. This is sprites. Cutscenes. Okay, so we don't go into the vines. We just go here. Mm-hmm. Okay. This also means we should do this on the rock. There we go. It definitely looks nicer than just plain old paint. So just gonna save it. Oh, where did I just save it? Come on, sprites. Okay, good. Boulder. I think it's just gonna help us make it look a bit more. Oh yeah, there we go. That's gonna help us make it look more cartoony. Okay, that's good. I suppose we need to add something on the ground as well. Okay, it's not as visible on the ground, but then again, the material that is used on the ground also has metallic on it. There we go. Ready? Okay, that looks a little bit better. Let's do some maybe grass. Okay, so I guess we know what we're doing. Since we want to get it to be more cartoony. We gotta do this. Do you think of creating a cartoony shader? Not really. Like a toon shader? An outline shader? Not for this project. For Child of Ether, yeah. I had a toon shader pretty early on, but a lot of the artwork is kind of two-dimensional drawings anyway, so, you know, with two-dimensional sprites, you don't really don't really need a toon shader, but a lot of the 3D objects do have a toon shader. Mm-hmm. It's an old game called, what is it? 13? Roman numerals. Just gonna make a pebble here. Whoops. Separate layer, please. Okay. Okay, we're not really strictly sticking to a grid. We technically don't even need a grid here, but, you know, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Grids are friends. Friend. This one's gonna be as 1. Okay, get another boulder. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock. Okay. Now, OBS be disconnecting. Mm-hmm. I'm in the circle. Nice. I'm gonna save this. So this is not engine. Assets, sprites, cutscenes. Okay, there we go. Now, group, insert. We're not gonna make it super saturated. Don't need it. If we're doing a selection, make a selection across multiple layers. Invert, shrink. Then we'll do that, except it's a bit too dark. Whoops. There we go. Actually, maybe I don't need to create a selection every time. Just piggyback off of this one. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. That's weird. Oh. Huh. How did that end up here? Hmm. Oh, it's my sloppy ass drawing. Okay. Have to put someone down. Be back. Um. Okay. That is Hmm. Do the police officials know you're doing this? My son to sleep. Okay. Got it. That's got it. Yes. What do you mean dirty, dirty mind? Motherfucker, that's putting someone down to sleep. He's gonna take a dirt nap. You disrespect my familia? Me fail English, but that's impossible. Come here, son. You failed to fall asleep for the last time. No, Papa, Papa, don't hurt me. I am sorry, son. You have disappointed me and my family and this heritage. It's a me, Balkan Dad. Okay, so oh my god. So much paint where paint does not belong. Wait a minute, didn't you say that you showed your app to your boss? Aren't you at work right now? Come here, son. Lay on bread maker. It's warm. Just finished batch. Don't sleep though. When bread maker turns on, it will hurt. I'm at home. Jesus. Remember, son. Nobody must know you're here, or they will send you to Gulag. No, Papa, not again. God. You remember Gulag, son? Not fun time. Do not betray me again. Jesus. Oh, God. Okay, where is this? Here it is. Man, my coffee cup is inching ever so closer to the edge of my table every time I bump into it. Hey, Zoltan, what is considered to be the Balkan national food? Or is it just the fat ass westerns that assume everyone's got a national food? On good day, bread. On bad day, air and prospect of better future. Goulash. Ah, there you go. Okay. Nice. The stereotypes are real. Hey, I mean, it's a goddamn good stereotype. Favorite national meal, dreams of overthrowing government. Don't tell anybody. You did not hear it from me. Okay, perfect. Now, we could add a bit of a darkening to each of these props. It may or may not look okay. Like this. Okay, nice. So, everything in here is a separate layer, separate group. So we should be able to export this. All at once. Nice. Okay, we're going to see about creating a tool that allows us to scatter this all over the ground. Let's do tools, scripts, export layers, grass. Even though there's more stuff than grass here. Engine, sprites, cutscenes, grass rocks. It's going to create a folder anyways, so it doesn't matter. Just going to save it here. PNG, and okay. Now we sit. I bet this can be a bunch of like little pieces with like random pixel in the middle of nowhere. It's gonna be fun. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay. Perfect. Now, I think we are going to be we're going to make a tool that scatters everything on the ground, and we're going to be making a one that uses sprite 3Ds. Okay. So let's start with a 3D scene, cut, scene, scatter, what is it? 3D sprite scatter. Attach a script. This goes to objects. Nope, scripts, excuse me. Not sprites, scripts. Come on. There we go. Cutscenes. Cutscene 3D sprite scatter. Sure. First of all, it is a tool. Second of all, it needs an export variable containing sprite or image texture 2D. So array of texture 2D, and the variable is called images. Okay, so we should be able to just drag and drop this in here. Yes, nice. Okay, next, export size, vector 2. Let's go 10 meters by 10 meters. And I suppose we just need the generate function. We need a number. Let's do 200. So we're going to do 4x in amount. We're going to need to create a new sprite 3D. So sprite 3D dot new. Next, texture. We're going to choose one from one of these random elements. Like this. Generate random integer based on the size of the array. Okay. We will add child. New texture sprite 3D. Okay, we need to remove any previous children. For each child in get children, each child queue free. Okay. Noise. What's next? We need to position it. Dot position. Now, we are dealing with technically 3D objects. Okay, size. But we're gonna do this. Rand f range is gonna be size.x divided by 2. So it's going to be negative size.x divided by 2 and positive size.x divided by 2. Now, y is up and down. That stays at 0 for the time being. And then z, same thing, except this will be using the size.y. And that's technically it. Object cutscenes, cutscene 3D sprite scatter. At least that's should be for starters. Okay, now we need to tell it that it needs to have like a generate command. And then every time we click on the checkbox, it will simply run the generate function. And that's basically it. Generate hasn't say, oh, okay. Generate sprites. Okay. So, let's take a look here. All right. Now we need some control points, like scale. We're going to put generate at the top here. Size is more like region. There we go. We're going to make a scale variable, vector2, between, I guess, 1 and 1 for the time being. Scale random, and we're also going to do a base scale. Although we could technically just change the size of the base sprite. 1.0. Although we don't need the base scale if scale random is just 1, 1. There we go. Okay. New sprite 3D, scale equals vector2. Now scale has to be uniformal, so new scale rand range between the first value and the second value of that vector2. And then we're just going to simply use that as the same value for x and y scaling. Okay. And we got an issue. Invalid set index based on nil. Right, these values. Oh, nope, still. Line 31. New sprite scale. Oh, that's vector 3. Because again, 3D. Okay. Okay, now we do have an issue where the different sprites have different heights. So they don't all start at the same level. So we're going to need to do an offset. Okay, now we know that a sprite 3D has an offset property. Offset, yeah, offset Y. So we need to offset it on which axis? We need to offset it on the y-axis. Looks like up by half of the height of the image. So new sprite.offset.y is going to be, we're going to talk to the image that we've chosen. Just going to switch my desk to standing mode. Okay, so we can take the texture that it is now using, and then if we look at texture 2D documentation, we should be able to get the dimensions of it. Get height, look at that. Perfect. So go back here, dot get height. We need to divide it by 2. Oh, I don't need to run anything. Just go back here. Okay. Click here. Nice. So everything is now justified by the bottom of the sprite. Okay. Not bad. OmniLight. Where's the camera? Here's the camera. Okay. So we need to make it so that anytime we adjust this value, it regenerates the element, and we don't want the seed to jump around, so we're going to make seed integer, set it to 0, and then every time we generate, seed will be set here, so it's always the same. Okay, now pretty much any time we change the number, yeah, okay, do this, and then we're going to set images to have the new value, and we need to run the generate function again. And we pretty much need to do this for every single value we change. Region. Okay. So back here, we can change the seed. And that changes the arrangement. Now, I'm also going to get rid of some of these rocks here. There we go. So it's just grass. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Genre of game. Difficult platformer narrative. Okay. Cool. Now, do we need to make every single sprite face the camera? Suppose we can make a variable, export, var, face cam, set it to false, And then forward the value and regenerate. And then we're simply going to use the facecam variable here. So we're going to do new sprite. What is this? This is going to be Y billboard? Or what is the name of the actual property? Billboard. Okay, and then we can either do disabled. We're going to do fixed, or I guess enabled. Man, I guess we might want to make it into an enumerated value. I don't know if I can actually supply them. Billboard. Let's do export enum. Let's see if this will work. So billboard enabled. Oh, no? No suggestions? Oh. Okay, we're going to make it equals to disabled by default and enabled. And we also have the fixed Y. That's the third value. Like this. Okay, is that going to work? Nope, argument 1 should be string. Okay. Is there another type of export enum? Like export flags? Nope. Okay. Actually, no. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do the lazy thing. Disabled. Ooh. Why billboard? Beautiful. And we're gonna set it to disabled. Okay. Do this. Now, this is where we're gonna have to set it. Actually, I could do var billboard settings. We're going to do it like this. So disabled, enabled, Y billboard. And then this is the fixed. Okay. Indent. Oh. Yeah, no, this should be fine. What are you talking about? Oh, right. Colon at the end for defining setters. Okay. So enabled. That's the value for this one. Disabled. Okay. So it seems kind of dumb. There should be an enumerator for like, well, enumerated values for integers. But I suppose we'll just use this to access the right one. And that should do it. And it doesn't work. Invalidate index y billboard on base nil. Interesting. Maybe it's because it doesn't exist. Interesting. Invalidate index disable on base nil. So this does not exist, apparently. Very well. You are going to exist within the scope of the function. There we go. Nice. Okay, and then we can do Y billboard. Beautiful. Okay. So that's looking less depressing. Oh, the solar eclipse is here. I wonder why it got all depressing and dark all of a sudden. Okay. Now we can reduce the region. There we go, just to the local scene. Cool. You know what? I am slightly less concerned. This might actually work out. Okay, so. Oh yeah, we can duplicate this one and reset this. Oh, interesting. It has stuff in it already by default. Ah. Fascinating. There we go. This is going to be more like 20. And these are going to be tiny little pebbles. Oh, interesting. That gets applied as a material. We don't want that. Okay. You know what? I like it. It works. It actually works. And then the camera is going to kind of fly in this way. Oh man, this might actually work out pretty well. You know, have a little bit of a parallax effect. Cool. Cool beans. Okay. So why don't I do this? Why don't I take a break? And it'll be a few minutes, hopefully. And we'll come back. Yeah, I'll come back at 4. Let's do that. I'll come back at 4. And we'll see about maybe programming the actual cutscene to appear. Cool? All right. I'll pass. Sounds good. Have a good passing out. All right. See ya, fellas.